Yo, what is the deal, everybody? What is the deal? Welcome to another Raider Nation Unlimited. I'm your man, Wasted Talent. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to everybody else on Twitter. Get wasted with your brother, Wasted. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Share this thing out to all social media. Share it out to all social media. Salute to everybody in the chat. Salute to my guy, Raider Ryan. Gorell Webster, first. Always first, never last. My brother, CGR is in the place. Bob Rutherford, Taino Raider. True Raider Podcast is in the place. Oh, my God. Donald and Stacy Comes at Night is in the place. It's right. I said the whole thing this time. Mr. Cold-Blooded, Cream Corn himself is in the place. Martin from way across the pond. Oh, my God. God, share this thing out. We don't cook till there's over 100 in the room. Get wasted with your brother, Wasted. So, let me tell y'all something, man. We got a lot going on today. There's a lot going on today in Raider Nation, man. Part itself, you know, I just came in the house, had a lot going on today. I had to go up to my daughter's school. You know what I mean? Had to go to my daughter's school, and you know that was very interesting, man. You know, shout out to my daughter, my oldest. You know, shout out to her. Got to take off the cashmere, man. My bad. Get ready to cook here. We got over 100 in the room. Get wasted with your brother, Wasted. So, guys, we got to get into it, man, because, hold on. Taino, yes, there is a blizzard incoming, bro. It's a blizzard incoming, man. I am not looking forward to it. You know, I'm going to be real with you. I need to get another snowblower, man. I need to get another snowblower like yesterday, bro. I don't know what the hell I'm thinking, man. I was out there shoveling on Sunday, bro, before the Super Bowl. Before I went to go pick my mom up. I fell asleep and kind of let the snow freeze. Man, I'm getting too old for this shit, bro. Full Sergeant Murtaugh. Yeah, I'm getting way too old to be shoveling and stuff like this, man. It's unbelievable, yo. But, yo, look, y'all. There's a lot going on today, man. Like, you know, there are rumors afoot about a lot of these free agent quarterbacks. You know, the Raiders' names are all over these free agent quarterbacks, and I feel like we need to break it down a little bit. Also feel like we need to go into some of the free agent moves. We need to, you know, touch on some of these Raider rumors, you know, and to be honest with you, this is going to be an interactive show today, more so than me getting on my soapbox, so to speak, right? Because, listen, man, I really think that, and look, it's not for me to recalibrate, you know, the way you guys see the game, right? All the time. You know, you guys have your opinions. Everybody got their opinions, right? But I think there's a misconception about how they're going to go about doing their thing to fill that quarterback situation. Now, like, in our heart of hearts, what we would really like as a fan base is we would like for the Raiders to draft their very own quarterback. This is something that we have not done. We've only done it 2 times in the last like 30 or 40 years. You know, it was Todd Marinovich and Jamarcus Russell, and to no avail. It did not work out for us. You know, we drafted Derek Carr, but that was in the second round, right? So a lot of people want the Raiders to take a big swing at number 6 or to move up. You even have analysts all over sports that just say that Shedeur Sanders is the perfect fit for the Raiders, man. Perfect fit for the Raiders. You know, you have some people that are detractors of Shedeur Sanders. I'm going to be honest with you, man. I think the Raiders need to take an approach that they've never taken before. They have to take an approach that we haven't seen. They have to take an approach that is just not one approach. I think the quarterback room and the quarterback position is such an important position for this Raider team that they have to do much more than just go in the draft and get a quarterback. They need to go and bring in a free agent, and they need to take a flyer on a guy who was highly drafted that's young. I think that is what needs to happen here with this team. Now, if you could see what's going on around the National Football League, I think the way people build their teams is going to start shifting, right? Everybody is trying to strike gold and get that number one guy. And there are a lot of people that say, like, listen, man, Humberto, A1A, he goes, I'm tired of bringing in a QB and not panning out. Just draft a QB and start them. See, Humberto. Bro, I think that what you do is when you do things like that, you paint yourself in the corner, bro. I don't think one ideology is the key here. I think that you have to, because it's so crucial that you get it right. You have to have other options in the building, bro. You can't just paint yourself in the corner. Like last year with the whole Gardner Minshew, Aiden O'Connell thing, the Raiders, before the season even started, painted themselves in the corner, bro. They painted themselves in the corner. They really did. And I think that this is such an important situation that they need to try to take the road less traveled. They really do. They really, really do, man. I'm telling you right now, the staff is filling out. We're going to get into that. Pete Carroll is bringing in offensive line coach help. I mean, all kinds of things are going on in the nation right now, man. Some people have Cameron Ward coming to us. Some people have Shador coming to us. Some people are saying that the quarterback that fits best in the Chip Kelly offense is Dylan Gabriel. I mean, it's just a lot, man. Now, look, before we start talking about the quarterback, right, I really want to get into what the Chip Kelly system actually is, right? A lot of people don't really know. I have people arguing in my comments talking about the Chip Kelly system, and I don't think they fully understand what his system even entails. I don't even think they understand what the Chip Kelly system fully entails, man. It's crazy to me, man. It's crazy to me. It's and before, and I'm bugging out here, man. I almost forgot. Y'all, this stream is powered by BetUS. Before I get cooking here, man, shout out to our proud sponsor, BetUS, for the rest of the season, man. Shout out to BetUS. Shout out to everybody over there, man. But listen, if you guys want to still go to one of the most comprehensive sports books known to man, go to none other than BetUS, guys. 150% bonus on your first deposit, and then 125% bonus on your next two deposits up to $2,000 with the code YouTube150. Fastest and easiest payouts and deposits and withdrawal process. Man, go on ahead and go check out BetUS. 365 days a week, 24/7, live wagering on all major games, on all major sports. There's none better and none greater than BetUS, guys. Now, look, let's get into it, man. So when we start talking about, what the Chip Kelly offense actually is, man, Chip Kelly's offensive scheme, and it's changed over the years. It's not exactly the same as what he ran when he was at Oregon, right? But his offensive scheme is like a fast-paced spread offense. It heavily utilizes the zone read option, right? Zone runs, quick decision-making, outside, off-balance plays, incorporating a mix of run and pass. He uses lot of level concept stuff. It is a very, very, very up-tempo offense, to the point where he used to kind of try to do like a fast break kind of a thing, like they do in basketball with his offense. And this is the thing, man. There's a lot of RPO in this offense. So before we start talking about bringing in a quarterback, you got to understand there is a lot of RPO action in his offense. Now, Will Howard is a big kid. He's a strong thrower of the football. He looks like your classic pocket passer, right? But I'm going to tell you right now, Will Howard is a hell of an athlete. He's a hell of an athlete. He actually can run, and a lot of people say that his pro comp is Justin Herbert. Look, I don't see it, but the evolution of his scheme kind of has gotten him to the point where now he's refined this scheme, and now he's coming back to the NFL, man. But the thing that I wanted to harken on before we start, I don't want to go too deep into the Chip Kelly offense. We're going to get more into that a little bit later, right? But the impact that it has on the quarterbacks, right? The offense demands a mobile quarterback. It just does, man. That can make quick decisions and efficiently run the zone read option. Now, in the National Football League, that's going to differ a lot a bit. Like at Ohio State, Chip Kelly started to blend more like pro concepts into the Ohio State offense, man. So his fast-paced approach kind of got watered down a little bit at Ohio State because he has such good running backs, and he used a lot of traditional elements in his offense, right? Focusing on the tight ends and the run game. So I think that iteration of Chip Kelly's offense is more of what you're going to see at the National Football League level, right? The heavy read option stuff is more of a high school, college kind of a concept. But man, listen, and another thing too, the Raiders are going to have to focus on the running back position heavily, and we're going to get into that probably a little later in the week, right? He runs the outside zone scheme, which the linemen kind of block a certain area of the field compared to just a specific player. And the outside zone focus on runs off tackles. So you're going to have those guys that can get to the sideline and break up field, and you're going to have them big offensive juggernaut running backs there, right? So look, when you start thinking about who and what fits this offense, if you're talking about a free agent, right? Let's say the Raiders are out of the money when it comes to getting a quarterback, right? Because look, let's just be for real here. The two guys at the top of the draft are some of the most confusing guys to evaluate that I've seen in a very, very long time, right? Because, listen, Shedeur Sanders to me is the number one guy, right? There are others that say that, no, Cam Ward is. But Cameron Ward is a guy who was playing at another school last year, comes to Miami with all of those weapons and kind of cooks, right? I think Cameron Ward, with this NIL situation, has put himself in the same situation, kind of like Jaden Daniels as well. He transferred. All these guys are kind of doing that, right? But it's hard to tell with Cameron Ward, right? Was it the level of competition he played against? Was it the weapons he had? Was it that talented football team down there in Miami? Which one was that, right? And Shedeur Sanders is a guy who played at a HBCU in a weaker conference, and as a guy that at Colorado he to me, man, had some of the most he has some of the most complete games from a perspective of a talent evaluator at the NFL level that I've seen, right? I saw him move in the pocket well, right? I saw Shedeur Sanders get hit a lot. I saw Shedeur Sanders have to lift his team up and lead his team. See, these are the things that I look at. I saw Shedeur check out of plays. I saw him from the neck up be a quarterback and not just an athlete. This is what I saw from Shedeur Sanders, man. So, look, man, I'm going to be real with you. Those are the two guys. Now, the Raiders are not in their control of their own destiny. You know that. We're the sixth pick. And it all remains to be seen whether the Tennessee Titans and whether the Cleveland Browns are in the business of quarterbacks, right? So this is the reason why it's tricky, right? Any other year you would say, hey, these guys are 1 and 2 off the board, and that's no question, right? And the two teams that's at the top of the draft, they're not moving off of them guys, right? But the difference is that you have a situation where the Tennessee Titans are a really bad football team. They have a lot of holes. Right? And it would probably behoove them to move down and pick up some more draft capital because it will allow them to fill the roster in a little better. The Browns also are in that kind of a situation where they're kind of like in quarterback hell with Deshaun Watson's albatross of a contract, right? That they can't get out of for a little bit. And they might lose their best player. They might lose Myles Garrett, right? So when I'm looking at the Cleveland Browns, everything's on the table. So if you lose Myles Garrett, you're going to want a king's ransom for Myles Garrett, right? Conversely, you're going to want a king's ransom to get up to number 2 as well, right? So the Cleveland Browns can literally control this draft and next year's draft. Now, there are a lot of bad football teams that are sitting there and they're saying to themselves, wait, the next year's quarterback draft is going to be generational, right? So let me allow everybody to do their thing this year who wants to move up, and let me get as many bites at the apple to be able to get one of those guys that are coming out next year. You got Nussmeier coming out. You're going to have Drew Allard coming out. You could possibly have Arch Manning coming out next year. You know, there are a lot of you got the kid from UCLA. They're not UCLA, but USC. You have a lot of young quarterbacks that are coming. There's another kid I'm forgetting about that might be the best of them all, right? You have a situation where next year you're going to have 5 highly draftable quarterbacks in the first round next year. And in this draft, you have 2 and possibly 3 with a Jackson Dart. So you might have a lot of these teams at the top of the draft to say, hey, we're going to kick the can down the street till next year. And if you want to come up and you want to draft in this year's draft, we are willing to play ball with you, right? So you got to ask yourself, right, where does that leave the Raiders? Are the Raiders saying to themselves, we're taking BPA, we'll draft a young guy in the back half of the first or the third round, or the top of the first or the third round, and we're going to go out and get a free agent? Now, normally, there are not many great free agent options out there. But this year, it's unbelievable, man. You have some guys that are credible guys, just from a name perspective, right? You have Aaron Rodgers that's available. You know, if you guys have not heard, I don't know if you guys saw my short. You guys have heard. You're not living under a rock. You guys are football fans. Aaron Rodgers will not be back with the Jets. He will not be back with the Jets, right? You have Sam Darnold, who really is a guy who made himself a whole hell of a lot of money with the Minnesota Vikings this year. Kevin O'Connell did a masterful job. You have a guy in Sam Darnold who is playing with the best wide receiver in football, probably the best tandem of wide receivers in the game, and Jordan Addison and Justin Jefferson. You know, terrific tight end, terrific tight end, damn good offensive line, right? And you gotta say to yourself, right, with Sam Darnold, this is a guy who has never really lit the world on fire before he went to Minnesota, and you gotta wonder if what you're watching is full gold. Is he the symptom or is he the disease, right? Is he a byproduct of having all of that stability around him, or has his play really leveled up? And that's the problem, because with Sam Darnold, you will never get a Sam Darnold on the cheap. There's gonna be a pain point with Sam Darnold in bringing him into your building. There's gonna be a pain point because Sam Darnold is going to cost you. And the thing is, that is the kind of contract that can become an albatross. That is the kind of contract that you want to avoid if you're the Raiders, because of the timeline that the Raiders are on with an older Pete Carroll. There are a lot of people who want to see Sam Darnold in the building. But I'm going to be honest with you, man. I don't know, man. I don't know. There are a lot of people like Adam Schefter that's saying that Sam Darnold would be moving forward, and he should be moving forward with the Las Vegas Raiders. Thinks at some point they'll likely have some interest trying to bring Sam Darnold to Vegas. But the thing is, you got to ask yourself, man, Sam Darnold had a good year, but is it really worth it for the Raiders? Is it worth it for the Raiders? I got to ask all of y'all in the chat, is it worth it for the Raiders, man? Because look, let me tell you something. If you get this wrong, he's on your books, and then now you have to see a broken quarterback. You got to see it through now. Now you got to see it through. If you sign him to a 4 or 5 year deal, you can't just pull the rug after year 1. You might have to go into year 2, right? So if you go into year 2, now that effectively puts you in the second year of the Pete Carroll experiment. So now this is a man who's up in age. He's not going to be here. He's not long for this game, right? What are you going to do in a second year? So now you're in a similar situation, and it's not the same because the Browns is all guaranteed money. It's terrible. But you're in a similar situation with the Browns, where you have an incumbent quarterback that might not be good enough, right? And now you have to decide what you're going to do with that money. Maybe you'll play just well enough so, when you'll be in the middle of the pack, and you might not be able to upgrade the position and kind of make that move up to the top of the draft. I think this is a year where we always say, yo, can you possibly trade up to number one, right? I'm going to be honest with you, bro. This is a year you can get up to number one. Now, most people tend to think that the Minnesota Vikings will tag Sam Darnold. And I think, to be honest with you, that's the best metric for the Vikings, right? Because you have a J.J. McCarthy on a rookie deal. You have a Sam Darnold that's proven he can run your offense. You can control his bird rights. You pay him for the 1 year, and then you let him walk next year. So now that's the Sam Darnold caveat, right? Now you got to go into the Matthew Stafford caveat. Now, Matthew Stafford will most likely not be going back to the Los Angeles Rams, man. He most likely will not be going back. And Matthew Stafford, man, was he has been a staple in his league, man. He's been a staple in his league, man. Matthew Stafford is a very, very, very smart quarterback, very, very physically talented, little long in the tooth, but not as long in the tooth as some guys that we've seen be successful at this level of the league, man. Tremendous arm talent, still can read coverages better than most quarterbacks in the National Football League, and that's coming from Vic Fangio. Vic Fangio said, and I quote, very, very smart, can read coverages better than the top 2 or 3 quarterbacks in this league, still has a tremendous cannon, and he can place the ball anywhere. Now, this is the crazy thing. With Matt Stafford on the field with the Rams this year, they were never truly out of a playoff run. This was a team that no one expected to make a playoff run, and they were a game away from the Super Bowl. Damn near, they were 2 games away from the Super Bowl. In the snow. So, it is the Matthew Stafford situation is cool. Now, Matthew Stafford threw for like 20 touchdowns a year. He didn't light the world on fire from a statistical standpoint, right? But when you talk about Chip Kelly, right? This is a guy now that is a predominantly pocket guy, right? So would that fit into what Chip does? Man? It remains to be seen. Now, hold on really quickly, yo. My guy, DeMarcus Webb, been a member for 15 months at Ease Soldier. Wasted looking like Shaft tonight. What up, G? Look, bro, y'all got to understand something, bro. I'm a man of a certain age, bro. Yo, look, I'm to the point in my life, bro, with like, yo, tell you something, man. I always got, certain things on, bro. Always got my cologne on, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I can't be out here looking like one of these little young whippersnappers. I gotta let everybody know there's a line of deep. It's a level y'all gonna have to get to. Young fellas. My guy, Pessimistic Frank with the $2 holla. Humberto, 100% agreed. Raiders, stop being pessimistic, Frank, for you get blocked. What the F is wrong with you? My guy, James Williams with the $5 holla. Paying $40 million for a quarterback that had one good season sounds unserious to me. And it does to me too, bro. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, man. And I know a lot of y'all aren't going to agree with me. I know this is going to start an argument in the chat. An argument in the chat to the point where you guys are going to be trying to tell me I need to be unceremoniously blocked. Be honest with y'all, man. If you're talking about bringing in a quarterback and not drafting one in the first round, you're talking about bringing in Aaron Rodgers. You are talking about bringing in Aaron freaking Rodgers. That's right. I said it. You damn right I said it. God! Wow! Damn right. The arguments have now started. You goddamn right. Aaron high-stakes Rodgers. Jeremy Dean. Oh, hell no. A-Rod is washed, though, G. With 3 clicks. No. Look at that pessimist and Frank. Get that F out of here. I'm going to tell you why. If you are going to go and bring in a free agent quarterback, a free agent, and you're not drafted in the first round, you will be bringing in, if I was the GM, I would be bringing in Aaron himself. You damn right. Shout out to the over 300 of you guys in the room. Get wasted with your brother, wasted. Tell a friend and tell a friend. Everybody on Twitter watching, come on over to YouTube. We have cookies. And if you want to stay on over there on Twitter and you have not subscribed to the Great and Powerful Wasted Talent, please do me a favor. Subscribe. Oh, Beto says nasty work. Yo, I just want to read. I want to read all of I need the hate. Bring it on, damn it. Look at the ultimatums. He didn't want to follow AMD. That's why he was let go. It's all about Aaron's world. Aaron Rodgers has been unceremoniously blocked. Yo. A-Rod's bonuses will be paid in Lewuska. Yo, Ridgeback, get that F up out of here with your crap. Get out of here with that crap. Richard Dice said, I got good. Oh, whoa, easy, Richard. Easy. Glad you would do a lot worse than me, Raider J. You effing bum. I'll be a great GM. What the F is wrong with you, man? You know how much enlightenment I'd bring to you if I was the GM? Yes. Damn right. We turn that hate into Raiders, just pillaging. So everybody says he's a diva. Everybody says he's a bum. Everybody says Aaron Rodgers is terrible. F him. F him. Let's see, George says bum. Let's look into a little Aaron Rodgers, man. Let's look into a little Aaron, man. Listen, one thing about Aaron is you can pay him in shrooms, like my man JD said, man. You can pay him in shrooms. He will be fine, man. But look, my guy Beto, I just don't feel like Aaron Rodgers will commit to the team like we need him to. I like Rodgers, but from a distance. I'm all ears, though, ways to change my mind. Now, I'm going to tell you why, right? The one thing that has driven Aaron Rodgers throughout his career, right, is, and I heard Chris Collinsworth say this. Shout out to Chris Collinsworth, man. Debo Lottie got more head than he got body. Look, man, Aaron Rodgers is driven by the chip on his shoulder. Now, Aaron Rodgers has been unceremoniously blocked from 2 organizations. He had that Achilles injury too, right? He had a lower extremity injury. He's an older guy. It's taking him, I think it's going to take him that year to heal. Let me tell you something, man. Aaron Rodgers can still play ball. And I think the problem with Aaron Rodgers is when he's in places and spaces with people that he can't respect and doesn't respect, Aaron Rodgers is not a nice guy. And I don't need a nice guy at quarterback. I need a general at quarterback, right? And I don't need a guy that has to figure it out at quarterback. I need a guy that can come here and execute immediately. Immediately. Day one can execute. Now, Stafford or Aaron Rodgers are the 2 guys that I'm red circling. Sam Darnold, for me, is a non-starter. I don't want Sam Darnold here for that kind of money. I don't really know how good he is. I want the guys that want some jewelry, that had some jewelry. Now, Aaron Rodgers is a guy that has a lot to prove. He is a guy that can come in with a coach like Pete Carroll that he respects, another California guy, can come in here and kind of bust down with one of his good friends, a guy with a bigger resume and better resume than him, a guy that he respects immensely, in Tom Brady. I don't think you will get that cantankerous douchebag Aaron Rodgers here when you're talking about dealing with Chip Kelly, a brilliant offensive mind. We talk about dealing with a Tom Brady, the greatest quarterback of all time, right? You're not going to deal with the Aaron Rodgers that is not going to feel fulfilled. You're not going to deal with an Aaron Rodgers that is looking for a shitload of money either. And this is a guy that has always wanted to go west and play west. Now, there's a lot of people that say, yo, get rid of him. He wants to play with Devontae. That's not mutually exclusive. I think Devontae Adams, if I'm being honest, is going to go back to Green Bay. He'll go back to Green Bay. Green Bay say they need a wide receiver. He needs a place to be. He sees that Jordan Love is the guy. He can go right back to Green Bay and live exactly where he was before. I don't know if he still owns that house and fall right into the gap. Get his old number 17 and go over there and go cook. If he's smart. Aaron Rodgers needs to find somewhere for him to go. Now, people say we need a mobile QB, right? But we don't need a guy that's taking off and running up and down the field like Lamar Jackson. We need a guy that is functionally mobile. Shout out to my guy, Mo Moton. He says this all the time, functionally mobile. We need a guy that is functionally mobile, and nobody knows how to move in the pocket as well as Aaron Rodgers, man. That feel, I think the Aaron Rodgers deal in this iteration of the Raiders can be what Tom Brady was for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers when they won the Super Bowl. I believe if you bring a quarterback like Aaron Rodgers in with a few good and well-timed free agent moves with the level of coaching that we have in this building, you can compete for a championship next year. Next year. All you got to do is move in the pocket. You ain't got to take off. And Chip Kelly, see, we're thinking of the Chip Kelly offense, and this is why I started and I opened the show up with that. When you talk about the Chip Kelly offense, we're not talking about Chip Kelly back at Oregon. This is not what we're talking about. This is not what we are talking about. Listen, this O-line, the men in this building are not that far from being an elite unit. Now, you bring in Aaron Rodgers. If you can get your hands on a Shedeur, then that's a little different, right? Because you gotta, if you draft a guy, you move up. You gotta run with Shedeur. It'd be nice to have a guy and let him sit, but that's not what kind of quarterback Shedeur Sanders is. Now, bringing in an Aaron Rodgers now opens the door for you to bring in a Jackson Dart. Did y'all just hear that? Bringing in Aaron Rodgers opens the door for you to bring in a Jackson effing Dart. You damn right. Now, I see a lot of people talk about Rodgers as a whiner. Rodgers is this, Rodgers is that. Let me tell y'all something. The one thing he's not is a bad football player. Now, look, my guy Top Beats. Shout out to Top Beats, man. His arm strength has seemingly deteriorated a bit last year. Throwing passes that fell short more often than I ever expected. But Rodgers' attitude is why I don't think any teams want to deal with him. Look, man, I'm going to tell y'all something, man. Narratives are powerful in the National Football League. Aaron Rodgers has always been this cantankerous guy. He's always been a little mercurial. He's always been a little off, a little odd. But it's funny how when your play deteriorates and you get in places and spaces that you're not being protected, right? Now all of a sudden you become this malcontent. You become a guy who is a cancer. You become the everything but the son of God, right? When we got to look at there's one pinnacle place when you start talking about the landscape of quarterbacks in the National Football League. It's New York and it's the Jets. That's what happens. Now, everybody says you become T.O. This guy has always been the guy. This is who Aaron Rodgers is, bro. Listen, this is who he is. But the thing is, I would rather have the social proof. I know what Aaron Rodgers is. You know what Aaron Rodgers is? He's a first ballot Hall of Fame quarterback. A first ballot Hall of Fame quarterback. A first ballot Hall of Fame quarterback that is long in the tooth, that will be cheap, that you can bring in, put somebody on the bench, and they can watch the way it's actually done here. Now, when you start talking about arm strength, right, this is a guy who was an older guy who was coming off a lower extremity issue, right? So when you throw the football and you start talking about arm strength, when your legs are effed up, you have a problem stepping into the throw. When your legs are an issue, your arm is an issue. And I'm going to be honest with you, bro. You guys say that this guy is a cancer. When was he this cancer that you just couldn't work around? I don't think Aaron Rodgers is a cancer until you have a situation that's untenable. When you have people that are secure in their spot, guys that don't know how to handle him. I think what's happened with Aaron Rodgers is I think he's aging out of the league. He's aging out of the league. And what's going on is that, you have a guy that is older or the same age as some of the coaches that were coaching him. That's a problem. I think he needs to get into a situation where you have a Pete Carroll. That's a 73-year-old guy, right? Wait, hold on. Let me get this bum up out of here, man. Let me get this bum up out of here, man. You about to be banned. Graf with his crap. You're in timeout. Think about what you did. Get F up out of here with your crap, Graf. Blocked for 10 minutes. To the back of the effing line, Graf. He's been blocked. Get F up out of here with your crap. Think about what you did, Graf. This show is phenomenal. You wish you were on screen with the greatness of wasted talent. You have been banned. The F up out of here. Think about what you did, and we'll let you back in later. Yeah, that's right. You get blocked too, Graf. Hammer, you can bring it on too. The F up out here. But listen, when you start talking about Aaron Rodgers, bro, that guy is not going to act the same way that he did with a LaFleur. He's not going to act the same way with Pete Carroll as he did with a young rookie coach in Robert Saleh. That's not what's going to happen here, bro. Listen, I think that this is a situation that needs to be handled from a bird's eye view. You need to start stacking quarterback talent in this room to address the situation, bro. Telling you right now. And guys, you know what's crazy about this too, man? I bet you guys didn't realize that this stream was powered by BetUS. I bet you didn't effing realize that, did you? I bet you didn't realize this show is powered by BetUS. Now, guys, when you start talking about BetUS, you talk about getting 150% on your first deposit and then 125% on your next two deposits up to $2,000 using the code YouTube150. Let me tell you something, man. There's none better and none greater than BetUS. Now, guys, when you guys say he's a loose cannon and a malcontent, I think he is a person who wants greatness. I think he's a person who wants things a certain way. I think he's a person who wants to push he wants to push the envelope for greatness. I firmly believe that. And I think in a situation like this, I think unchecked power and absolute power corrupts absolutely. The biggest problem with Aaron Rodgers in New York is that they kissed his ass so bad. They gave him the keys to the franchise and he didn't deserve it. And then it blew up in their face. When the head coach acquiesces to you in the way that Robert Saleh did, there's no way you could be successful. Now, the New York Jets and Aaron Glenn and their infinite wisdom, they moved on, and he's smart because he doesn't need a polarizing figure in the building like that. But with the Raiders, you have a situation where Aaron Rodgers walks through that door, immediately Max Crosby's bought in. Immediately, Christian Wilkins is brought in. Immediately, them guys on that defense are brought in because they have a guy that they've watched and grew up doing it at such a high level that they'll buy in. And Matthew Stafford fits the bill too. I think when you start talking about the Raiders, the only answer is to go get Aaron Rodgers or Matthew Stafford, and everything else is a non-starter for me. Everything else. I believe that is the metric, and I don't give a damn what you guys say. Hold on. Let me read some of these super chats, man. Shout out to y'all. My guy, David Lito, with the $10 smackaroonie. You said in a prior video, A-Rod will be better around with Coach Carroll and Brady in the building. I say, you show me who you are, I believe you hard pass. Now, listen, Lito, I understand where you're coming from, right? But I think we're taking this rigid approach with a lot of quarterbacks. I believe any quarterback that I've mentioned this offseason, from Shador to Cam Ward to any of the guys available, everybody says hell no. Oh, hell no to Shador. Oh, no, my God. We can't possibly have a quarterback that shows his watch and stands behind his teammates and stands in the pocket and delivers the football and plays the game from his shoulders up, right? And can throw the ball accurately. And it's tough. Why would we want that? Why would we want a future Hall of Fame quarterback? Why would we want a Matthew Stafford who should probably go to Hall of Fame too? If not Hall of Fame, borderline, right? Why would we want that? Last year, I told y'all what Russell Wilson could do for this team on a one-year deal for next to nothing. Everybody said, oh, hell no. What does Russell Wilson do? He comes in and cooks for the Steelers and gets into the playoffs. Why would we want that? You guys tell me, man. Why do we want that? No, you guys want me to tell you, yo, let's go out there and go create somebody. Let's go create another option here. Let's go get Sam Darnold, the guy who played one good season, who's going to get franchised. Let's go trade for somebody, right? No, I'm talking about the definites here. We don't know if we're going to be able to move up. We don't know. Is it possible? Yeah. But if we don't have to, it's great to have a vet that you know has credibility day one. My guy, Capital, with the $10 smackaroonie. IMHO. Aaron don't want to go where he ain't the biggest fish. Brady, Pete, Max are the sharks he got to swim with. Even in Green Bay. Trying to pull out a crap over there. There's a power grab. I'll pass. I don't understand how there's a power grab. Like, first of all, there's a conglomeration that owns the Green Bay Packers. So it's not really, you know what I mean? Long gone are the days of, Ted Thompson being there, right? Who did he pull a power play with? I think Aaron Rodgers didn't like the way the world around him changed. That happens to a lot of great players, right, that have been in a place for a long time. When you see your world change around you, it is unsettling and uncomfortable when you're a man of a certain age. When you're a man of a certain age, bro, you don't want to see your world change around you. All your teammates are going, the guys that you really went to war with, the Jordy Nelsons and guys like that. These guys are going now, right? The coach that you respect and want to ring with, Mike McCarthy, he gone. Now you bringing in, you got to learn a new system that late in your career. Then you want not special privileges, but you want some autonomy over what's being run because you have a better idea in some places than the guys who are calling the offense. You got a better idea of what's going on than they do. You've done it at such a high level. You have a better idea. And they're around your age, man. They're around your age. Some look, man. If you're Aaron Rodgers, how does this sit with you, right? Matt LaFleur is 45 years old, bro. Matt LaFleur is 45 years old, bro. Aaron Rodgers is around the same age as him, bro. He's not 45, but Matt LaFleur is not much older than Aaron Rodgers, bro. He's not much older than him. Aaron Rodgers is 41 years old. These guys could have been in high school together. They're equals. The graph is back, everybody. Get F out of here with your crap, Graph. Shout out to my dog, man. Yo, you said it's Graph, you about to get, yo, Graphic, I'm telling you right now, to get blocked. You know this the greatest show on earth. Effing bum. You picklehead bastard. Coming in here starting crap in my chat. It will not be tolerated, Graphic Raider. My guy IB Vic became a YouTube member and became a member of the Wasted Talent Army to get off my lawn gang, whichever you want to call it. At ease, soldier. Appreciate you, my guy. Appreciate you for joining the channel, man. My guy CGR has been in here cooking all day, man. My guy, Top Beach. Yo, Wasted Talent Army. We got over 420 rated fans in the chat and only 141 like. Thank you. Thank you, Top Beats. Will you educate some of these bums? That damn like and hit that thing. Thank you, CGR. Appreciate you, man. But look, let's get into it. I'm going to get off this Aaron Rodgers. I'm going to get off the quarterback caveat, right? So you got a situation where the world around Aaron changed. I think the consortium of the leadership in this building, right, will be a welcome change for a guy like Aaron Rodgers. I think him coming west will be a great thing for a guy like Aaron Rodgers, right? This is a guy that grew up in Chico, California, right? Being right down the street from where he grew up, being in Nevada, right? Also, he's in a situation where the media scrutiny is a little different, right? Like the scrutiny on the Raiders really comes from the fan base. It doesn't really come from the media. They don't have a sports media machine in Las Vegas the same way you do in New York. New York is a place, man, where, listen, look, I love where I'm from, right? I love being from the tri-state area, right? You know, I wear it as a badge of pride. But when you start talking about the way the sports media deals with their athletes, there is a sense to me that they're looking to build people up to tear them to shreds. I watched the New York media fawn over Aaron Rodgers for 2 or 3 years before he got here. And as soon as he got here and he got hurt and things didn't go exactly the way they saw, they destroyed this guy. They destroyed him. And people say, yo, Aaron Rodgers is too damn old, right? He's too damn old like you. No to Aaron, sorry. You know who's too damn old? There's a lot of people that are too damn old, right? But you say he's too damn old, right? And then, you know, you see some of the richest men in the world and they're in their 90s, right? You talk about he's too damn old, and he's not as old as Tom Brady was when Tom Brady won a Super Bowl in Tampa Bay. He's not as old as Peyton Manning was when Peyton Manning won a Super Bowl in Denver. Everybody says everybody's too fucking old, right? But you know what I'm not too old to do? Game tight. I'm not too old to block your bum ass. You come in here with your disrespect and your filth, you will get effing blocked. Don't you ever come in here calling me old. You say one more thing, you will be thrown out of here like a scalded dog. Shout out to Game Tight, yo. But no, for real, nobody's talking about bringing Aaron in for 4 years, bro. We're talking about, yo, 1 year with a trap door in a second. This is what we're talking about. We're talking about going out early in the draft and addressing the quarterback. We're talking about Will Howard. We're talking about Jackson Dart. Well, this is what we're talking about. And I'm not saying Aaron's going to come in and mentor anybody, right? But the best thing you can do for a young player or a young person is to lead by example. Lead by example. Jaquez. Tom Brady was 43 years old when he last won a Super Bowl. You're damn right. Thank you, JB. Thank you, man. JB Killer VA, man. Hey, who ain't disrespect my man Wasted? Getting him riled up. Yeah, man. Look, JB, they got me off my square, bro. Oh, listen, all I do is come in here and try to give you good content, and jokers just got to be disrespectful, man. God! Wow! Thanks I get. You know what I wanted to say to him?
Shut your lame ass.
You know, it is nonsense. But yeah, I'm talking about the same Rodgers who stunk it up last year and won 5 games. Yep, I'm talking about the Aaron Rodgers who had the exact same stats as Josh Allen. 28 touchdowns, 11 picks. I'm talking about the Aaron Rodgers who had a coaching change in the middle of the season and had an issue getting on the same page with everybody. And yeah, I'm talking about that Aaron Rodgers. You damn right. That's what I'm talking about. Classic man Q. Hold up, Cedric the Entertainer. You wish you looked like me when you get my age. Cedric, like a thick-ass bag of groceries, coming up in here talking your trash. The F up out of here, classic man Q. Wait, but look, man, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I don't see any reason with it. Now I want to move on from this, guys. Now look, when you start talking about how you can address the situation here with the Raiders, man, you got to start talking about going out here in the draft, hitting in the draft, and hitting in free agent. And I think, you know, the Eagles are a great indication of what you need to be doing if you're the Raiders. There are a lot of holes on this roster that need to be filled, right? So I'm going to be honest with you. The Raiders need 2 offensive linemen. This draft and this free agent class is really littered with guys that you can bring in, man. You can bring in, look. So I'm gonna go over a list of some of the free agents available, and I want you guys to kind of, and I'm gonna give you guys my wish list right now. People are talking about, you know, addition by subtraction, going and weakening the Kansas City Chiefs, right? But Trey Smith is a backup, right? Now his overall grade for PFF this year amongst guards was 11th. You know, he's still only 25 years old, you know, and that's a great combination, right? Now, people at his position signed deals exceeding $20 million per year in 2024. But see, this is the thing about him, man. When projecting a contract for a guy like Smith, it's rough, man, because in 2021, he was a 6th-round draft pick, man. He was diagnosed with blood clots in his lungs. On the field, you know, he's a free agent, but he has some health issues that are a red flag. And also, he does not have the longevity to warrant paying him that kind of money right now. There's a lot of people that say Trey Smith, but this could be one of them grand opening, grand closing kind of years with Trey Smith, man. You know, I don't know, man. My guy, Rorschach Raider 24, wasted on his soapbox. Effing awesome. Thank you, bro. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it, man. I'm glad somebody enjoys it, man. That's right. Peyton won a Super Bowl from above his shoulders, bro. Just being Peyton Manning. I think Aaron Rodgers has that kind of ability, man. Yo, you know who can run faster? My block finger, Demon King. The F up out of here with your crap. Yeah, blood clots are never good. Yeah, blood clots, bro. What the blood clot? Big up. So look, so when you start talking about addressing, because listen, we need to get 2 linemen. We might need to get another tackle or 2 guards or whatever, right? Now that's if DJ Glazer, you're keeping him at right tackle, cool, right? Now you got to ask yourself, right? Are you signing back up for Colton Miller again, right? Now there is an option out there, and his name is Ronnie Stanley. Yo, it's like, and it's the crazy thing. Like Ronnie Stanley's a guy that it's hard to argue that was one of the best players at his position in the National Football League until, you know, he had that left ankle injury. He had a devastating left ankle injury in 2021, and it kind of seemed to put his career on ice for a little bit. But this year, Ronnie Stanley was back up to top form. He had an impressive 79.6 PFF pass blocking grade over the last 12 weeks, man. And his pass blocking grade was right behind Anthony Costanzo, probably the best tackle in the league besides Trent Williams, man. Anthony Costanzo was balling down there with the Indianapolis Colts. And negative run blocker percentage, 9.5%, which is lower than Anthony Costanzo, right? True pass blocker set grade, 76.0. Anthony Costanzo was 77.3. Now, this is 2 years of data, right? So Anthony Costanzo, when you start talking about Ronnie Stanley's a guy that the Raiders might want to take a flyer on. Not too old of a guy, had some injury concerns, but he's a guy that is a startable player. You know that you brought in a starter as soon as you brought him in, right? Now, there's a name that a lot of people are not talking about when you start talking about addressing the guard position, right? And listen, Cam Robinson's still up there. You know, Cam Robinson is still up there, man, and we're gonna go him. But Will Fries from the Indianapolis Colts, man, he made tremendous strides over the last few years, man. His rookie contract is almost up, and he's going to be the next guard to cash out right now. His rookie contract is up now. He fractured his tibia in week 5 against Jacksonville, underwent a surgery. You know, before that, he earned an 86.8 PFF overall grade at that point on 268 snaps. The guy was balling, playing out of his mind. You know, he's coming off of a major injury, right? But he is a guy who was a plus player at guard. He's a guard by trade. Will Fries is a guy that I would definitely take a flyer on. And also Tevin Jenkins. Now, see, if you notice, there's one pinnacle problem with a lot of these guys on the offensive line. And that's the reason why drafting players is so crucial, right? On this offensive line group of free agents, you have a lot of injuries, or you have guys that have not done it for a long time. Now, Tevin Jenkins is a guy that I loved when he came out. I wanted the Raiders to draft him, right? He was a tackle. He was moved to guard, right? Tevin Jenkins has had problems staying on the field. If Tevin Jenkins is healthy, you have a great damn lineman. If he's not, you got a problem. You know? But see, this is the thing, man. A lot of people, and my guy, T4, shout out to T4, he's been a member for 2 months. He says, time to move on for Colton, go youth. You don't go youth right now. You bring the youth in the building and you allow Colton Miller to kind of, you know, gracefully bow out of the Raiders silver and black. Unless he plays out of his mind and keeps his position. But it's time every year to bring somebody to challenge the incumbent. That's how you get better, right? So, you know, hey, he moves on. You got a guy that moves right into that spot. Tropical Enemy is if things don't go Aaron's way, he'll blame everyone else and throw them under the bus. That's Aaron. I mean, I didn't necessarily see that from Aaron Rodgers. I see a guy who doesn't like losing. And I see a guy that, him and Stafford could come in right now and pay dividends. Right now. Right now. Those two guys, Stafford and Aaron Rodgers, like your life depended on it. But guys, let's get back to this free agent class, man. Let's get back to it. So you got Tevin Jenkins, man. Now, Tevin Jenkins is one of these guys, man, that is a physical-ass guard, man. He's a force to be reckoned with. But the problem is him getting on the field and staying on the field on Sundays, man. There's some occasional mistakes that he makes, but for the most part, he's a physical, nasty guard. Now, if he can stay healthy, that is a guy that I would love for the Raiders to take a flyer on. And then you have former Pro Bowler Kevin Zeitler playing for the Detroit Lions. You know what I mean? He played for the past 3 years in Baltimore, right? Joined Detroit. He was like a seamless fit. 86.8 PFF grade in the regular season. It was his best since 2014. His run back and grade was even higher than that. He's 34 years old. He could be a cheap, effective option if you're looking for a guard. There are a lot of guards available, man. You can fill a lot of holes this year, man. You can fill a lot of holes. And then there's none other than the Pittsburgh Steeler, former Chicago Bear. I think he played for the Baltimore Ravens too. James Daniels, man. James Daniels is a beast, man. He was a beast, but he tore his Achilles in week 4. He's only 27 years old. His first 2 years, the guy was balling. The guy was balling in his first 2 years, man. But James Daniels, man, is a guy that you definitely got to take a flyer on, man. Definitely. Chicago Bear, former Chicago Bear, James Daniels, man. That is a guy. I've always liked his game. Super physical. I would love for the Raiders to bring in James Daniels, man. Shout out to you guys, man. My guy Cisco Duarte. Shout out to my guy Cisco. It would be funny if Rodgers came to Las Vegas and Devontae forced his way out of here for absolutely nothing. You damn right. Look, my guy Steve Harbaugh. Pause. Filling holes. Why is that a pause? Listen, bro. I will hope that you guys are at home filling holes too, bro. If you got a woman, you better be filling it up. You better be, or you ain't gonna have no damn woman. The F is wrong with you, bro. The F is wrong with doing that. What kind of hoes are you thinking about? The F is wrong with you, Steve Harbaugh, with your filth. I mean, bro, let me tell you something, man. You about to be, man, the F is wrong with you. But here with your crap.
That's a tutorial that says you know what the fuck you doing.
crap, Steve Harbaugh. Get out of here with your crap. Pausing. But guys, I mean, what do you guys think about some of the choices at offensive line, man? What do you guys think, man? I mean, I think the Raiders need to draft offensive linemen, but let me tell you something, man. You can fill major gaps or holes in this roster in free agency, bro. There's a myriad of talent out there. This is one of the better free agent classes from a perspective of need for the Raiders, man. The trenches matter, man. Mekhi Becton will be available too. Shout out to Silver Smoke Raider. Yes, Mekhi Becton will be available. Yes. This is what we're talking. Yo, you got to build the bully up front, bro. Before you start talking about drafting a quarterback, before you start talking about turning things around here, you got to be able to run the football and you got to be able to protect your damn quarterback, man. And Top B said it best. We absolutely need 2 guards, and I think we need to draft another left tackle as well. Yes. And we also have to sign our free agents. Yeah, man, but see, this is the thing, right? There are a lot of guys that we need to re-sign. Look, and at the top of that list, you got to get Max Crosby some guaranteed money, right? And you got to sign Robert Spillane. You have to. Now, when it comes to Trayvon Merrick, he's another guy you got to sign. But some of these other guys, man, like Nate Hobbs, bro, I'm going to be real with you. I'm willing to take the road less travel and let him walk out of the building, bro. I'm willing to let Nate Hobbs test the market. I don't think Nate Hobbs is going to get the kind of return back that he would probably think. Adam Butler is another guy. If you can get him in on a reasonable contract, right? But you've invested a lot of money from a free agent standpoint now if you're going to sign Max, if you bring Malcolm Kuntz back, right? I love Adam Butler. Adam Butler's a beast, right? But what are you paying at? Are you paying Adam Butler fair market value for you know, one really good year? You know? But people say Ja'Cory Bennett is not a free agent. Ja'Cory Bennett is still in his rookie deal. But Nate Hobbs, I'm going to be honest with you. I would build the trenches and I would let Nate Hobbs test the market. Chasen and Lalu, them guys are young guys that they got the scrap heap. That's not going to be a problem signing them 2 guys. Butler is the problem, though, because Butler played himself into a position where he can make a life-changing amount of money because of how well he played. Because of how well he played, right? And I don't know if the Raiders really can allocate that amount of money to that player based off of how much money's already out there with a Christian Wilkins, right? With a Max Crosby, right? Then if you go out and you bring in the other edge rusher, or if you continue to go and go with this Malcolm Kuntz experience. Now, the problem with the NFL now is you have guys like Malcolm Kuntz that everyone else in the league saw how good Malcolm Kuntz is too, right? And the Tyree Wilson mistake is also another issue. Now, I'm glad that you got people in the building who had nothing to do with that Tyree Wilson situation. I think you had people previous to this that were willing to die on the Tyree Wilson hill. They were willing to die on that hill. This is the line of demarcation this year. This is the year that either he shits and gets off the pot and becomes the kind of player that people thought he can be, because people said that he could be a dude, right? I don't see that from Tyree Wilson yet. Not where he was drafted, and not from me watching Jalen Carter wreck people in the Super Bowl, wreck people in the playoffs. What does it look like with Jalen Carter here, bro? And I don't want to get too deep into that. But what I mean is this, man. The Tyree Wilson experiment is something that the Raiders really, really need to figure out early, right? Because you might have to identify a defensive end in this draft. You might have to go out in free agency, and you might have to address this in a different way. You might have to go out there and get a proven commodity, right? So when you start talking about bringing in an edge rusher, there are options out there. There's, the Hassan Reddicks of the world, right? Now, Hassan Reddick was absent for the Jets, to start the season. And people say, it leaves the question how interested he is in other teams and all this other stuff. He really, really, really started making his money and his bones in his league in 2022, man. He had career highs in his sack total and his overall grade and all of this kind of stuff, right? He's a reliable pass rusher. He was kind of like Malcolm Kuntz before Malcolm Kuntz, right? But the kind of money that Hassan Reddick is going to want, I don't think that I would be able to commit that kind of money. But he's out there, right? He's available. Josh Sweat is also out there. Super Bowl champion, wants to cash in on that, revised 1-year contract in 2024. He made the most of his kind of mediocre rise with the Eagles. Man, he had 8 sacks in the regular season. And when Hassan Reddick left the Eagles, and Brandon Graham getting hurt, Sweat had plenty of time to get out there and build his stock, right? But he's another guy that is a guy that you got to kind of look at. What did John decide and say, man, I don't know if this guy, if he's going to be worth it. He's young. You'd have to kind of project. But if you want a sure thing, right, and you want a guy that will come in this building and it will be a revelation, it'll be Charles Woodson 2.0, is to bring back Khalil Mack. Bring back the Mack, man. Khalil Mack has kind of enjoyed a resurgence over the last 2 years, man. He could still ball. He could still be a force as a pass rusher and a run defender, man. He had 88 quarterback pressures in 2023, man. That was his highest total since 2016. His pass rushing grade was his best since 2020. Like, Mack's situation is kind of like eerily similar to what Von Miller was going through. Von Miller got a 6-year, $100 million contract from the Buffalo Bills. It was more like 3 years, $52 million in reality, right? So Khalil Mack is I think it's time for the Raiders to kick the tires on possibly bringing Mack back, man. Now, I know a lot of people will probably poo-poo that. A lot of people say I'd rather bring back Malcolm Kuntz. But I think the Raiders definitely need to kind of lean more into sure things instead of hopium. They need to lean more into production instead of potential. And John Spytek touched on this earlier in his press conference, right? You got to start bringing in production. And Khalil Mack has been production his whole career, man. And look, CGR said only on a team-friendly deal, right? So what does that mean? We all know Khalil Mack has got his bag, right? We all know that, right? But I wonder where Khalil Mack sits in his desire to either play for a winner or his desire to come back and make things right with the Raiders. I don't know if he has that kind of yearning to come back to Raider Nation. I don't know if, our outcries to bring Mack back, right? If that would affect him. I wonder if it would affect. I think it affected Charles Woodson a lot. I think the Raider fan base can kind of thank themselves for the Charles Woodson second act. I'm going to be honest with you. I think that the Raiders have a timeline where they have to have some of these positions that are major positions filled with guys that are definite. And I think that what you do is you fill them with definites and you back them up with potential. I think you have to have a mixture and a myriad of that kind of stuff on this roster. My guy, Rorschach Raider. Wait, can we just skip the bullshit and just bring in dogs? Just go about their business and play and teach the young pups that way. And see, this is exactly what I mean by going out there and getting proven guys. Now, people say, yo, Charles Woodson had heart, as if Khalil Mack doesn't. You got to understand something. If I'm Khalil Mack, right, I watch you give a coach $100 million. I watch you give a quarterback in Derek Carr a great amount of money that he really didn't earn, right? Not at the level of Khalil Mack. I mean, Khalil Mack was an all-pro at 2 positions in the same freaking year, bro. Right? So you give them over $100 million, and when it's time for me to get my money, you don't got nothing left. That's crazy to me. Now, look, this is the thing about Malcolm Kuntz, and I'm going to say the quiet thing out loud. I don't really know how good Malcolm Kuntz will be after this injury. I don't know how good Malcolm Kuntz will be having to depend on him in perpetuity. And I don't know if I'm really willing to pay him top shelf money for not even a whole season of production. My guy, Top B. So you're saying bringing back Mack is a better option than keeping Kuntz? Wonder how much money it would take to get Mack back as opposed to paying Kuntz to stay. The thing about it is I look at Malcolm Kuntz as a young a young guy who has a lot of potential, right? But let me ask you guys a question, right? This guy's coming off of an injury. He's young. He hasn't done it. Khalil Mack has produced in 3 different organizations. Khalil Mack is going to walk into the Hall of Fame, and he's still got a lot of football left in him, right? The thing is, I don't necessarily know if I'm putting them 2 players next to each other, who would be more impactful, because I'm not looking at this 10 years down the line. I'm looking at this within, listen, my thought process changed once we brought in Pete Carroll. The kind of guy that I've always been is try to build some longevity, right? I'm willing to burn the block down with Pete Carroll because I want to get a ring now. I want to burn the block down, bro. I'm not trying to wait no more, bro. You go out there and you go get the best, most viable and dependable free agents you can get. That's how I'm viewing it. My guy, Lord Buddy Bear, with the $10 smackaroonie. I'm going to trust the process and keep quiet till after the draft and free agency. Then if I don't like something, I will backseat GM and complain about what I don't like. Tom Brady fumbled. Never forget. Lord Buddy Bear, get the F out of here. We are beyond that. We are beyond that, Lord Buddy Bear. I think we got to stop embracing our old school Raider pain, bro, for us to get over this hump, bro. I really do. But I think with Pete Carroll, bro, we need some sure things on his roster, bro. I think we always lean on the potential caveat of personnel. We do that because, if you're an old school Raider fan, that is what Al Davis always did. That's what Al did. That's wired in us. Potential. But John Spytek said it. We value production. Production. I'm up here eating my wife's chocolate in her office. Shout out to everybody in the room. We're currently building a Waste of Town podcast studios in the guest room in my house. I bet you guys don't know that this stream is powered by BetUS. Shout out to BetUS. 150% on your first deposit. Get 125% on your next 2 deposits. Up to $2,000 using YouTube. 150 is none better, none greater than BetUS. And you can tell them Waste of Talent sent you, man. Damn right. You are damn right. Waste it. What it costs to keep them both. Say nothing about Tyree, but for Mac, he can go. Tyree, listen, man, I'm cool on Tyree Wilson, bro. Tyree Wilson, I've been hearing for the last 2 years how he's going to break out. I'm just to the point now, bro. I'm not willing to wait. Like, they can keep him. I believe the Raiders have enough. He's still on a rookie deal. They can keep. That could be your developmental guy, right? But Khalil Mack, back next to Max Crosby, Christian Wilkins, going out there drafting some young. Look, I've seen the light, bro. I've seen the light. I've seen a situation where you have to be able to get pressure, dropping 4 and rushing 4 and dropping 7. This is what we saw a couple Christmases ago. This is what we saw in the Super Bowl. If you want to beat the Chiefs, you want to beat all of these offenses, all these gurus, you got to be able to lay the wood to these quarterbacks, man. And don't nobody hunt better than Khalil Mack. Now, I don't know if Khalil Mack has the nostalgic feelings for being a Raider like Charles Woodson did. I don't know, because I think Khalil Mack's beef is low-key with Mark Davis. And Mark Davis is still the owner of this football team. Damn right. Rush 4, drop 7. Because Myles Garrett, the price point for Myles Garrett is different. Not only do you got to pay Myles Garrett, right? But then you got to give up draft capital to get him. Khalil Mack is painless. Khalil Mack is, you go out there, he's a free agent, you pay him, you bring him in. No draft capital, none of that. Then the cool thing is they give him the number 52 back, and I can go pull that 52 back out of my closet and put it on. And I know Khalil Mack will, but Khalil Mack's market value is not the same as the number one pass rusher in football. Look, I love the idea of bringing in Myles Garrett, but the thing with Myles Garrett is if you bring in Myles Garrett, there are a lot of things that got to happen around that. There are a lot of people who, man, it'd be a major overhaul undertaking bringing him, him here and did even convincing him to want to be here. I don't think that Myles Garrett wants to come in a situation where I think Myles Garrett is probably going to wind up with the Washington Commanders. And I think if the Browns are smart, which they're not a smart organization, they're going to keep Myles Garrett out of AFC. I don't think that that's an option for the Raiders. No, I wouldn't try to bring back either one of those guys, right? The contracts are albatrosses. Josh Jacobs is a Green Bay Packer, and the way that this draft is lining up, I'm drafting 2 running backs. I'm not even messing around with Josh like that, right? And with Devontae Adams, just from a personal standpoint, is not one of my favorite players. I don't really like that guy. You know what I'm saying? I don't like that guy. If he has to come crawling back to the Raiders with Aaron Rodgers being here, that's different. Whatever. But nah, man, F that guy. Real rap. Like if Josh Jacobs was ever available in the free agent market and the Raiders had a need for running back and, he's not a million years old, that's cool. But I'm not ever bringing Devontae Adams back here, man. F that guy. Shout out to my guy, Mr. Cold-Blood. I think Khalil Mack has more Earl towards John Gruden than he would against Mark Davis because grooming influence, he not get paid, and then they trade him. But the thing is that Mark Davis wrote all of them checks and didn't write him one. Well, right now, I mean, Tommy Eichenberg is a guy that you definitely want to pair with Spill. Tommy Eichenberg is a guy you definitely want to. Now, when you start talking about from a free agent standpoint, right? You have some options, right? You have some options, but from a free agent standpoint, I believe that when you start talking about linebacker, I would probably venture to address that situation, with young players that are already in the roster and draft some guys. I would start trying to address the linebacker position in the second to third round based off of what I do at quarterback and running back. I think that's vital. I would like to see the Raiders go out and kind of cement one of their positional groupings in free agency so that they can use their draft capital to cement another one, right? Now, Drake Greenlaw is available, right? But he had an Achilles injury that he suffered in the Super Bowl, right? And he's been shut down. He only had like 34 snaps in 2024, man. He'll see a lot of interest. The thing about guys with lower leg extremities, extremity injuries, I want to see them come back and play. I don't necessarily know how well they are going to do, how well they're going to recover from that. You know what I'm saying? And look, I'm going to be honest with you. Drake Greenlaw is a guy that I really like. Right now, you got Nick Bolton. That's a little addition by subtraction coming from the Kansas City Chiefs, man. But look, man, Nick Bolton. You got to look at what the price tag is on Nick Bolton. I think you could develop a player at that level. I really do, man. I really do, man. And there's a lot of options out here, man. You got some edge rusher talent out here that you can kind of double up on. You got Bobby Wagner out there. He has a lot of familiarity with Pete Carroll. He's a guy that you could definitely bring in. I mean, it's crazy, man. There's so many options out there. I haven't seen as many options of free agents that could really help the Raiders in a long freaking time, man. Well, hold on. Joshua Cerritos. Wait, after visiting New York, I'm trying to move there for a few years. LOL. Fell in love with the city. Hey, man. It happens to the best of us, bro. God bless you, and God bless you, man, because there's a lot of goddamn money, brother. We don't got it. Listen, Chasen is still, that's what I mean. Chasen's still in the building, bro. That's the thing. It's about having depth. It's about having options, man. One Nation, I'm not paying too many of our free agents as we haven't won with these guys to begin with. You got to pay the right free agents we got to build. The guys like Merrick and stuff like the guys that are produced and the young guys that you drafted, that's the level of continuity you want to keep in the building, right? Nate Hobbs is a guy that I'm fully willing to let walk. I don't want to pay a corner that can't really cover. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man. I'm not paying a corner that can't really cover, man. He can go. And I like Nate. If they keep Nate, I'll be happy in a sense. But I want a corner that I can line up on the outside and it's not going to get cooked. Because we got a competent coaching staff. They know what they're looking for, man. Yo, my guy, Dov. Let's coach up our team and bring in competent talent. And that's pretty much what I'm talking about. Yo, my guy, Top Beach. Yo, talk about Joe Milton, your thoughts about him as a QB. Rumor has it they're looking to let him go. Now, bro, I did a short on him, Top Beats. Look, you know how I am with Joe Milton. How I am with quarterbacks, right? Do I want Joe Milton to come in and for him to be our starting quarterback? No, right? Do I want to give up, draft capital for Joe Milton? I don't know, right? Joe Milton is like a last resort kind of a thing for me, right? Because I know he got a lot of talent, blindingly talented. I would love to have him as a backup and really try to see if you can kind of take that. Like I look at Joe Milton like a great singer, right? There's some singers that are so great that it's hard to produce hit records for them to try to kind of put that vehicle of a voice into a hit song, right? They can sing ballads, they can bring the house down, they can make a great album, but they can't make a hit catchy pop song, right? I'm gonna give you an example like Jennifer Hudson, right? Jennifer Hudson has one of the best voices, man, out there, but it's hard for her to make hit records. I want to see the producer, i.e. the coach, take a guy like a Joe Milton and try to take that talent and try to harness that talent and try to make him into a guy that's startable. Because if you have a guy with that much freaking talent on the center, man, that is a plus player right there. But the thing with Joe Milton is that the Patriots know that he's a quarterback, right? And the Patriots have made a living off of doing this. Matt Castle, right? Jimmy Garoppolo, taking backup quarterbacks and turning that into premium draft capital. And the thing with Joe Milton is that, when you look at the measurables, 6'5", laser rocket arm, can move, all of those things, right? From the car lot, he looked great. But when you open the hood up, what's up under that hood? Is the engine good? Is the brain good, right? That's the thing you got to ask yourself with Joe Milton, right? And I don't know if I'm willing to pay what it takes to get him here because he was drafted in the 6th round, right, Top? So you're going to have to probably at the minimum give up a 4th round pick. Now, 4th round picks are very, very valuable, guys. We got Max Crosby in the 4th round. All your picks are valuable. People look at it like it's this small thing, but it's not. Hold on. The alarm is going off in my house. Hey, girls. Hold on, guys. Let me see what the hell's going on here. I'm sorry. I don't understand what the hell is going on with my daughters here. I don't know what's going on with the alarm. Let me look at the camera and see if something's wrong here. I'm sorry, guys. I want to make sure the cops don't come to my house because my daughters are messing with the goddamn garage door alarm. Cancel. Hold on. Hey, guys. Hold on, guys. Hold on. I got to make sure everything's all right here. Hold on. Guys, I am so sorry for this. I'm so sorry for this, guys. Hun, is everything all right? Why is the alarm going off? You guys forgot. All right, they put everything's okay. All right, I'm on the air. See you later. My damn kids, man, always doing something. Now let's go. Now I forgot what I was talking about. They done threw me off of my damn square. What the F is going on with my damn family? Nah, we good to go, y'all. We good to go. Nah, I knew nothing was wrong. I could see on the camera nobody came in the house. I can see, look, I got everything pulled up right here on the screen. I can see what's going on when I'm here, y'all. Tell you something. It's not a good idea to come here, man. It's not a good idea, man. Everybody got to get the F off my lawn. So, guys, yo, shout out to my guy, man, CGR, gifting 10 Raider Nation Unlimited memberships to the masses. Salute to my guy, CGR. Appreciate you, bro. So, guys, when we start, what are we talking about, guys? Yo, yeah, well, look, hey, Top, you got to make sure that the premises is secure, bro. You got to make sure the premises is secure. It's a crazy world we live in, bro. You got to make sure the family is safe, bro. Hey, yo, everybody thanks CGR for gifting them 10 memberships, yo. I appreciate you, my brother. Guys, what were we talking about here? Are we talk? So what were we talking about, Joe Milton? Top, what were we talking about here? I have it here, and then it just goes. Top, what were we talking about? We talking about Joe Milton? We talking about Joe Milton? What the F are we talking about? We talking about Joe Milton, right? Listen, like I said, I don't know whether or not Joe Milton is a guy that I'm willing to give a fourth, because I think you start at a fourth rounder with Joe Milton, right? And then you go to a third of what. I don't necessarily know if I'm willing to get that up for him, bro. I don't know. Right. And I think, yo, when you start talking about Joe Milton, there's so many things that you have to do to get him playable at the NFL level. Now, we watch what he did against, Buffalo, against a lot of their backups the last game of the season, right? But that's viable. I got a short about Joe Milton, right? And Gerard Mayo talked about how Joe Milton was one of the guys in their building who used the virtual reality machine that they have for the quarterbacks to kind of get snaps in, and they saw some positive gains with the guy. I think the lack of snaps and stuff like that would kind of scare me away, and I think the Raiders have so many gaps on this roster to fill. I don't, look, man, I'm going the free agent draft route. I'm not going to make a trade for a quarterback that I'm not sure about at all. That's pretty much where I'm at with it. That's the reason why, Zach Wilson, guys like that, guys, if you're going to go like a high ceiling, high ceiling kind of guys you want to bring in and develop, I'm going to free agency so it just costs me money. It doesn't cost me draft capital. See, I don't want myself to be cost and charged doubly. I don't want to be charged money and draft capital for a player I'm not sure about. I mean, that's pretty much where I'm at with it, man. Oh, Joshua, the Bronx. I mean, Brooklyn back in the day. Brooklyn, Brooklyn is no cakewalk neither, but Brooklyn is getting, gentrified. The Bronx, definitely, bro. Brother Wasted, like our life depended on Sam Darnold. Okay, draft Genty, then a wide receiver in the second round. Best case scenario, Ekibar, 35 touchdowns in a season. Raider Nation ain't never seen that, says LaMonica. Bro, look, man, I'm going to be honest with you, bro. I'm not drafting Genty at 6. I'm not doing it, bro. I'm not taking a running back that high. And then if the team doesn't turn around, bro, then you're going to be in the same situation you were with Josh Jacobs. I'm not doing it, man. I am not doing it. I'm taking a trench guy up front if I'm not taking a quarterback. I am taking a trench guy, 100%. 100%. I am addressing a need, right? And I'm doing it in a fiscally responsible way. I think drafting a running back in the first round is organizational malpractice for a team like the Raiders. Now, if a running back was the thing, say we had a quarterback, we located the quarterback already, right? Our line is secured. Our defensive line is secured, right? We might need a corner or something, whatever, right? We can get that in second, third round, right? And there's an explosive running back, and that's the last cherry on top for the offense. Then I'm taking a running back in the first round. And then if I'm doing that, that guy better be like freaking Marshall Faulk, or it's better be like Adrian Peterson, like that level of running, LaDainian Thompson. Genty, a lot of people are looking at the numbers, man, But look, bro, the guy's playing at Boise State. He's playing at Boise State. He's not the biggest guy in the world. I don't know if that's going to translate at the next level. I'm not a huge Gene T fan from what I see. A lot of people like, you're crazy, right? I'm going to watch some more of them, but there's a lot of guys in this draft that I feel are more talented. I would take both of the running backs at Ohio State over that kid, Gene T. Both of them. KO, salute. Salute, my guy. Mr. Kobler, amnesia, first sign of age. Get the F up out of here with your crap. Cream corn. 138 years old talking that crap to me. Tabi says, I don't think Ginty is as good as Josh Jacobs. Not even close. I mean, you know, at an NFL level, no, right? From a college career perspective, they don't compare. How am I feeling about Sincere? I like Sincere. I think Sincere is a good depth piece, but I'm not looking to bring, you know, Sincere and say, I'm going to give him the keys of the franchise as a running back here. Friend, you know, he's a friend of Shieldmore and everything, right? But I am definitely going to look to improve that position. We were last in the league in rushing last year for a reason. Joseph C., if you talk about my loins one more time, he says ED might be the first sign of age. How the F do you know, Joseph C.? Joseph C., let me tell you something. You filthy mother effer you. Don't you ever make reference to my loins. The F is wrong with you. What the F is wrong with you, man? I can't believe what the hell. Man, come on. God! Wow! Golly, man. It's getting filthy in here, man. Joe C., you are about to get blocked. Thank you, Top Beats. Get them together. Freaking loin talking here. What the F is wrong with you, bruh? The F up out of here with your crap. Tell you something, man. Look, listen. Things are going pretty fine, bro. Been laying down a few yards every week. Yards and miles of pipe. Yo, my guy Rorschach, man. To all the chat that is old shaming. The F is going on here. Get the F out of here. That crap. Thank you. So, guys, look, man. We've been going an hour and a half, man. This has been a monumental and momentous occasion here, guys. It really has. Shout out to our proud sponsor at BetUS. Get 150% off your first deposit. Then get 125% off your next two deposits, up to $2,000 using YouTube code 50. This show has been brought to you by BetUS, and I think it's time for us to wheel the train back in the train tracks, man. I've been rambling on and on for over an hour and a half. I think it is time to bring the train to the train station, man. And that's right, Ridgeback. You need to stop talking about my trenches and get back to Raider trenches. Joe C., the F is wrong with you. Loin talk will not be tolerated up in here. But guys, y'all take care. We're going to be back at y'all all week. We you know, definitely. The offseason don't stop the show. The offseason don't stop the damn show. Let me tell y'all something. We are going to have a great time talking Raider football all week. You guys just make sure you pull up. It was a most splendiferous occasion, man. And let me tell y'all something, man. Fidel Torres, you mean, yeah, right. I don't want to beat, you don't like the Raider talking here? Something Fidel? I get your ass blocked too. But guys, I hope you guys have a terrific night, man. Peace and blessings, man. We out of here. Oh, wait a minute. We forgot the wasted word of the day. What the F have I been thinking? I've been slacking on my Mackin. Oh, yeah. Wait a minute, too. Forgot to ask y'all, too, man. Shout out to BetUS, too. Odds on the next Raider quarterback. Sam Darnold, Stafford, Justin Fields, Daniel Jones, and Jalen Milroe. I'm going to tell y'all something, man. My money out of this group is on Matthew Stafford. Tell y'all something right effing now, man. But, yo, shout out to the chat. Wasted word of the day. We got to find it. The wasted word of the day is ephemeral. Ephemeral means lasting a very short time. And that's the wasted word of the day. So that is Joe C. He's going to last a very short time in his chat the next time he starts talking crap Shout out to my guy Fidel Torres, but I'm messing with y'all. Y'all have a great night. We are getting the F up out of here, man. I will see you guys tomorrow. Classic Man Q looks like a thick bag of groceries. Talk about my Knicks. Don't you ever effing do it. Look, man. Shout out to y'all, man. We out of here, man. Peace.